Hey Manu, it's Yone. How's it going, man? I'm just kind of like looking through your peer review that you've submitted. Love the scene, really nice on the detail. It's coming along nicely. I think that there's just a few things that kind of like jump out at me. It's kind of like not at my level at all, but things that kind of like jump out at me a bit is that you might want a bit more of a pause when you kind of like go in. I'm not sure if you'll have enough time for that though, because the dialogue kind of like starts pretty much straight away. I'm not sure how you're doing on your frame count, but she does go into kind of like quite a quick motion there. Nice bit of a hold. The one thing that's kind of like jumped out at me a bit of about your assignment to an extent is you've put the car in, you've put the background in, which is looking much, much, much nicer. But the point of those is just something that's not really coming across with me because she kind of like puts her hand up and it's like those. So she's not really pointing at anything, and I'm not sure if you're trying to move away from a point or something like that. But I think that that gesture there is not really clear for me, so I'd have a look at around frame 68. I'm not sure. It's really weird because it's like the hands just pointing upwards and coming down. I'm not sure if it would be just stronger to very clearly point those, those, something like that. Another thing about the way that you've set up your shot here is staging wise, always remember to add depth to your shot. That's one of the great things that we have in 3D, that we can really, really, really add depth to the shot. And the main thing that is jumping out at me is that your banners at the top of your scene, they're really flat on camera. Put those at an angle and have them streaming across the shot to convey more depth into the space. And also either move or get rid of the lower one because it's kind of like right at the level of her head over there. And I think that you could do perfectly without it. I think that second banner there is not really doing anything for your shot, staging wise, for an extent. So I'd basically try to keep the balloons and the banners at the top separate. Try to give a bit more depth into the shot. And remember composition. Try to put things in diagonals to make things interesting. And try to get it towards where a bit of the action's happening. It's not going to be perfectly aligned in every frame, but it's something that will basically change your shot from being planar space like that to actually having depth. So pretty much think about that. I think that's something very easy thing you can do to kind of like just add a little bit extra to your shot. I really like the walking forward. The gesture that she does with her hands between frame 100 and frame 105, I think you need to refine it a little bit because she's going to touch the rim of the glass, and the hand kind of like does this and then stretches like that. You might want to go straight into that pose and go like that and like that. More start that finger essentially coming up because you really don't stretch it out until frame 107 and it's pointing towards camera as well, so you lose that detail completely. You really don't notice that she's got the finger stretched very much until the action's over. So it's like it's a nice gesture that you've got there of her just spinning the finger around the glass while she's thinking, but you really miss it. So instead of having it straight on like that, maybe just a little bit off to the side. Just see a bit more of the finger like that instead of like this. Because again, the glass tops are really small. Um, the thing about the car, really nice. I think that's one of the best gestures that you've got in the whole thing. Saying that really good because it's this car, really nice. But again, it's one of the things that with the eyes, there's something weird with the eyes here. Yeah, there's something that it's just I'm not sure. She just seems a bit distant in her eye lines when basically she's thinking about it. When she says this car, I'm not sure if she's looking at us because she's looking like kind of past us. And I'm not sure if there's a difference between yeah, because there's a look here at frame 107 and it's like dead on straight, right into camera. And then when she says this car, she's kind of like looking there. So it's like it's off, and I'm not sure where it is. It's almost like the person who's actually in the scene has actually changed positions. At least that's the impression I get. There's something weird about when she just says this car. She's looking at somebody else. And I'm not sure why that actually happens, but have a look at the difference between the look at frame 107, which is directly into camera, it attaches us to her, and the shot, which is to frame 173, where she's looking past camera. One of those has to change, I think, because if you change the direction, it's weird. I don't know how to put it in English. It's something that just comes up. It just looks weird. And she looks like, she's just shifting her attention across people. I'm not sure if that's something that you can do or you can't do. It jumps out to me. What can I say? I don't know anything. Um, really like the expression of when she comes up to frame 208. Again, that's looking in the other direction we were talking about just now. That's great. She goes into introverted again. And the last flick of the hand, murderess. Murderess. Nice little gesture there. Yeah, I think that you can probably open that hand earlier. Because it's kind of like she spins it and opens it up. Might want to open it up somewhat like that and try to get the unfolding of the fingers to really go murderess. Or maybe a bit of a counter animation there, which I'm not sure if you're doing. Maybe. Yeah. Kind of like, yeah, have them moving separate directions or towards one another, hand and head, doing a gesture at the same time. Might want to look into that, but yeah, everything's kind of like really solid. The blocking looks great, and there's very little that I can comment. This is way past my level right now, but I'd especially look at the eye lines. That there's something weird there that I'm pretty sure that you could do. Staging, another thing that basically you can fix really easily, really quickly, and yeah, just be careful with that walk. There's a few kind of like moments when the spine's kind of like keeps kind of like moving around, like in frame, kind of like from 98 to 40. So between frame 98 and frame 140, there's a lot of motion in the spine, and then boom, she settles. I think you might want to try and have a look at that and see if you can actually get that to hold in a slightly different way. But great assignment, man. Really looking forward, and gracias por el mensajito que me mandaste por Facebook el otro día. Mucho apreciado. Me estoy recuperando, o sea que te veré por campus. And if you jump by London in December, well, be sure to drop me a line. Take care. See ya.